I'm going to be doing a example of a trade we caught in the Discord. It was on the 1st of May, and I did have a screenshot thread on the Twitter, but I just wanted to have a video representation of this trade on the Discord as well, so that you residents can just check at it. And if you guys are struggling, you guys can just look at the video and at least get an idea on the type of criteria and models we look for. Now, I know I did post this on the YouTube, but I'll just do a little bit longer, slowed down version for you guys. So yeah, let's just get started. Let's just go through a basic model and just get back on track, get everyone into the groove of the video. So what are we looking for? We're looking for equal highs and lows to be left and to be paired with trendline liquidity. Now, I know this seems simple, but it works. So don't stress. Just follow me here. So we are looking for equal highs to be left and not be taken. We want that to be paired with trendline liquidity. Price needs to react away from this and not take it. We want to have some sort of displacement away from it to use it as your drawn liquidity, because you want to trade towards it. We want price to then disrespect a PD array, creating SMT with a correlated asset. We can then react off of that higher time frame PD array that it swept into, and then we could target this drawn liquidity, which is going to be our trendline liquidity, being paired with our equal highs and lows. Now, this trade was between Euro and GU, as I said, and I'm just going to go through a model version of this first, so you guys can just get a pattern in your mind just to see on how you should look for it. So what happened was on EU, we left and generated trendline liquidity. Price then went, swept a PD array. Now this PD array was very far down on GU, so I'll show you guys now, but it was very far down on GU. So it was very, very clear that it was SMT. And from that SMT, there's a few ways you can try and enter on this model. Now, I believe on this trade, there was another criteria that we got this trade on because I was not sure about these two entries or 2 or 3 entry models. Now, these you can find just before price creates the sweep, there is a pullback generally. And price tends to close above it and just quickly use it as a reaction and bounce off of it. And I know some people specifically like waiting for the break of structure after the change of character. So you could have your change of character, react, enter off of that. And you could also have the break of structure entry after price breaks out, reacts. There's also the inverted. So if you wait for that first CB to be reacted or to be disrespected, you could use that as inverted, wait for the reaction, trade off of it. And then there's another one. And we use this possibly the most. It is PSP, precision swing point. I hope I said that correctly. And I know some people struggle with this and it's very, very difficult to see and difficult to spot. But when you do, you have a better understanding on what's actually happening on the lower time frame if you are viewing on the higher time frame or a higher time frame. So I'm going to go through PSP real quick. So what it is imagine this side on the left side is still EU, on the right side is still GU. It's still the same chances above. So still keep that in mind. So imagine on the left, we just took this PD array. We disrespected, we swept, we pushed out, and now we are pulling back in. This 5 minute is closing bearish. On GU, it's closing bullish. So that is PSP. Price is not correlating at that moment. On the 1 minute time frame on EU, it's actually just going to be a lower time frame confirmation on your change of character. That's actually all it is. So the PSP is just a confirmation on a lower time frame change of character. Okay, so for this live example, I'm just going to go from the weekly to the daily, so you guys can just have a better understanding on the higher time frame, on how I view it. So let's see on the weekly. So on the weekly, we see trendline liquidity, or I saw this trendline liquidity, And now to validate that trendline liquidity, I have to give myself a reason to trade towards that trendline liquidity. So what I'm seeing below price is a weekly order block being reacted off of. So let's mark it out as order block. Let's drop down to the daily. Now from this daily, I can already see a second set of trendline liquidity that could be used as drawn liquidity. And now to validate that drawn liquidity, I have to look for another reason to trade towards it. So all I see is a daily order block that is being reacted off of from this weekly order block. So let's mark it out as order block. So what I'm expecting from this specifically is price to use that order block on the daily time frame, and then we trade towards that trendline liquidity. Okay, so now that we're on the lower time frame, and we have an idea on what the higher time frame is telling us, we still need to get into this trade. So just putting prior knowledge on this trade, the higher time frame seasonality was showing bullish for EU for the first 15 days of May. So I was expecting some sort of bullish drive. And if it was going to be bullish drive, it was probably going to be a big trade. Our higher time frame was bullish. And also from our Q1, we already took quarter one low going into quarter two on the 90-minute cycle. So I was already looking bullish. So my entire bias was bullish. I was just looking on some sort of way to enter on this trade. And to enter on this trade, we have specific criteria, and that is equal highs and lows being left and trendline liquidity being generated and paired with that equal highs and lows. And then some sort of disrespecting PD array, and then a reaction off of that with a entry criteria. So let's run through it. We've got trendline liquidity being left generated on USD. And if we go on the low time frame, I mean like 1 minute, which we're going to go to now, we can see a clear indication the price did not want to break above that. Now, let me just show you guys on GU what low we did not manipulate under to create SMT. It was this low right here, which was the 23rd of April. If you want to go look at that trade. So that low was being used as SMT. This low is actually also the entry on that daily order block. So let's go to the 1 minute. We want to specifically trade closer to silver bullet because we don't want to get too early into the trade. As if you get too early, although your bias might be correct, you'll still get wicked out because your entry isn't at the right time. So now we have the confirmation, we have trendline liquidity, we have equal highs, we have Q1 low being taken, seasonality showing bullish, we have weekly and daily going bullish. So now we're just looking for an entry. Now from our SMT, all I am specifically looking for is a PSP or a inverted fair value gap or a break of structure, but some sort of criteria that works with this trade. Now, when we were doing this drop and we saw the SMT already being confirmed and we were leading into silver bullet, which is right here around 3 o'clock New York time, I didn't really see how we were going to be doing break of structure or change of character in the sense where it's clean. So I was looking more to PSP, which is the precision swing point. So let's play it on. We're on the 1 minute time frame. So now we're just waiting for the 5 minute to flip, which is going to be at 3. So let's give it a few minutes. And as that 5 minute flips, we want to enter on our trade as that is the lower time frame confirmation for this market structure shift. Now we're just going to wait on the side here, show for 5 minute, Euro USD and GBP USD is probably going to be this next candle. There we go. That's the flip. So Euro is bullish and GU is bearish on the 5 minute alone. So that's going to be, let's mark it out. Let's mark this out. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be your 5 candles. Mark it out as 5 minute PSP. take our trade, place it on that close, stops below this PSP. And then we're going to target the quarter one high that is not taken. That's also just above being paid with our trend line liquidity. Let's have this run through a little bit. Let's go to the 5 minute, make it skip through a little bit quicker. But that PSP is ultimately where the injection of volume is coming in with our silver bullet timing. And price barely even hesitated. Let's move this on. We can see more PSPs being formed as we go up. And there we go, take profit. If you guys have any more questions, please do make a support ticket or just add me in the residence chat. I hope this video helped. I know it's a bit longer than usual, I'm sorry. But yeah, enjoy your weekend. Good night, guys.